Opinions vary.
That's what I was saying. It's just, there's... How many of us will exhibit symptoms and assume that it's something else because we want it to be something else?
You mean like when people get bit by like zombies, and then they like cover it up and act like they never were bit by zombies? Is that kind of? And then,
well, I mean, like, I'm sick.
Yeah.
I'm exhibiting symptoms. And everybody's like, oh, you don't have coronavirus. Like,
well, but nobody knows.
And it's like, well, yeah, I'd like to say I probably just have the flu. But how many people feel like that or are exhibiting all of the symptoms and not going and getting tested? Because where would I go get tested? Well, I Googled yesterday, when it was at its worst, where would I go get tested? In Grants Pass, and there is nowhere.
Well, and that's because...
I don't have insurance, like many other Americans.
Yep.
My children do, but I don't.
Yeah, but that's the problem right now. I mean, the right thing to do... I don't think that anyone around here necessarily...
Well, how do you know when to take it serious? You know what I mean?
No, I don't. I mean, I know what you mean. I just don't know when to take it serious.
Literally, everyone wants to give you crap the second you get sick. Like, oh, you think you have the coronavirus? You don't have the coronavirus. Like, what if I do?
Or the other direction, where whether they just assume you do, which is, I mean, people should. But you know, most families right around this time, like I've had some pretty bad allergies.
Right.
Well, I did too, and then like after a day,
it was until I spiked a fever and my lungs filled up with fluid.
Yeah, well, I never got a fever.
Right, but Kylie was sick. What, a week, 2 before that?
I heard that we all got this from her boyfriend.
That's how she got sick, and then
right.
I don't know if Bree had the exact same thing as Kylie, but coincidentally, after leaving, spending the weekend with us after Kylie had been sick, Bree got a fever and her lungs were upset. But it affects everybody differently, whatever it is that we do have. Kylie didn't have, she had a mild cough, but I've had the worst of it in my lungs. But I'm a smoker and I'm a diabetic and I'm, I suppose more susceptible to lung infection. I also have asthma.
Well, I mean, at this point, it seems like the flu itself was just going around even.
Right, and I want to assume that it was the flu.
I bet you I don't even think I got the flu.
Symptomatically, it's the same, really.
I think I got a nasal infection that went into my lungs.
Well,
like a sinus infection that turned gross.
Your chest was hurting before mine, and then this turned into this for me and for your son, who also has asthma. So I don't know. Who knows? But I'm saying, with this pandemic going on, like, how are we really supposed to know how serious to take it when the symptoms are so closely related to the common flu?
Yeah, well, it's tough when you live in a house full of people. I mean, whatever one person has, everybody's going to get it. I mean,
right, I've definitely
even
noticed, like, the last couple of days being sick, that it's so hard to keep your germs from getting on anybody when you live in the same house.
Yep.
I tried having a coughing towel. I tried to have a towel for coughing. Did you hear about that? Yeah, so when it got real bad 2 days ago, I got a towel to cough into to protect everybody. So I'm holding this towel right every time I cough into the towel. And then at one point, I momentarily forgot and left the towel sitting on the counter with the cough section folded inside of it. I go to the bathroom and I come back and my coughing towel is hanging on the refrigerator door.
Yep, they've used it to wipe down everything.
No, we don't wipe anything down, but
like mop up the wetness around the.
People wipe their hands with it, and then people touch the fridge. So then it was like, well, shit. My coughing towel just spread its germs all over the fucking kitchen.
Take that, kitchen.
So maybe a coughing towel isn't the best idea. You cough into your shirt, but I'm sure
it's going right through.
Right through my fucking shirt.
Yeah, we discovered that, didn't we? With my sneezes.
Yeah, your sneezes, like, definitely, I watched them explode right out of your shirt.
I mean, I try to cover it up. I do my best, but man, when I sneeze, I hate it. I hate sneezing. I think that sneezing is it's a curse.
Well, and then, like, for me, I work in the medical field. I work in nursing, so I have to make a decision, like, do I put my patient in that situation to go without help when she's a quadriplegic and can't move for herself, can't get herself to the bathroom, she can't do anything. She cannot move. So if I call in sick, I am putting her in danger either way.
Right.
But if I go to work, I'm risking getting her sick with what I really don't know what I have. So it's like you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place either way. I feel like I'm the bad guy either way. And if you say you're sick, a lot of times people don't even believe you.
Right.
Yet they want you to protect them from it and stay home. So it's like, which is it? What happened to Caleb the other day when he called into work really upset me. And I seriously considered, like, calling them out on social media because he did the right thing. His mom and, you had been sick with something in your chest.
Yep.
I was coming down with a fever and my lungs were filling up with fluid. He was coming down with symptoms and spiking a fever. So he calls his work to say that he can't come in, and then they give him a bunch of shit and ask if he can work the next day.
Right.
What did they really want us to do here? It's like, you're supposed to stay home and protect everybody, but when you try to do the right thing, you're the bad guy.
Yeah, but the question was, so when he called in today saying, hey, I can't go to work because I'm sick and my family's sick, that doesn't mean that tomorrow he's going to be okay.
Well, if you've got something, it's contagious for several days.
That's what I heard.
And it's like no one wants to not go to work for that many days or put anyone in that situation, but we're trying to do what we're supposed to do. So which is it? What do you do?
I have a gigantic bubble, and I keep my hands washed because I'm a nail chewer. So I tend to keep my hands pretty clean after touching anything.
Right, and we all do that. I mean, I wash my hands so many times a day that they're cracking and dry. Then in the medical field, I mean, I wash my hands so often that I can't keep lotion on them either. It's frustrating. It's not as easy to do this all right. It's just not.
We got the quarantine blues, babe.
Like,
the
just
quarantine
because there's this thing going around doesn't mean that
blues.
my patient will not need my help.
Because
She's
the
gonna need my help no matter what.
quarantine blues. Yeah. So is being sick, people out there, is it better to be sick and go help someone that can't help themselves, I mean, almost at all? Or is it better to go and not go and hope that they can make it? I mean, that's the question.
Well, she couldn't make it.
I know she can't,
she's
but
got other, her roommate's going to have to do it whether she can physically handle lifting her or not for that many days. And that makes me feel terrible.
yeah, but if you go to work and you get her sick, is that worse?
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. It sucks either way. I mean, technically what I Googled for my symptoms, I either have the flu, which I'm hoping is just what it is, or it's the other thing.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Even with the flu, it says I'm contagious 7 days.
Babe,
Up to 7
but
days
if you
after
got
my
all this
symptoms
stuff,
go away.
we all have it or have had it.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. So how long do I stay home and protect her?
I don't know.
Or do you just go and hope that you're not going to get her sick and
Right.
take care of her? Because the other people desperately need that relief.
I don't know. I just don't know the answer. I don't know that there isn't
I
a
think
good
there's
answer.
a lot of people in that same situation where they don't know.
And you don't have a choice. Like, maybe you have to go and risk it because otherwise she can't get through. But you got Tuesday covered, so that's good.
Well, I'm definitely better today than yesterday. But it's obviously not all the way gone, so we'll just see. I just feel bad for other people in that situation because I'm sure a lot of people feel like that. It's like, you're feeling symptoms come on, you try to stay home to prevent getting anyone else sick, and then you're the bad guy.
Well, yeah.
Or you look like a liar.
Right.
And that's just not fair.
It's hard trying to do the right thing because sometimes you have more than one option and you don't know what the right thing would be to do. It's all based of opinion. In your opinion, I trust your opinion. You have really good judgment. I make some weird decisions sometimes on things, but yours is usually pretty sound.
Yeah, it's just sometimes there is no right answer.
Nope.
There's just no, or at least not that there's no right answer, but there's no.
Sometimes
there's no good
everybody
way for
loses.
anybody. There's not a way that it works out perfectly for anyone. It's just either direction, it's crappy.
That's right. It's called life. But the good part is we're healthy. We have a roof.
We're healthy. I'm over here hacking up alone.
Hey, but we got a roof over our heads.
Yeah, we have a beautiful family. I mean, it's been gorgeous weather.
Yeah, look at this.
That was the hardest thing about feeling sick. I wanted to be like taking advantage of this time we have home together.
But look at this. This is my
outside walking.
I sit here and make video, and this is what I get to look at.
No, we are so blessed. So blessed.
Look at all the blooms on the trees.
I know, it's gorgeous. Did you see that tree out in the middle?
Starting to purple.
It's purple moss.
Yeah, that's the coolest
I've never
thing.
been able to figure out what that is.
I don't know. It's cool though. It's really pretty. I think we should try to water that. Because remember last time when we watered that tree, it purpled up.
Yeah, we need to start watering and weed eating and mowing.
Yeah.
So are you going to work tomorrow?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Well, you said you'd heard that you might not be going.
Well, we'll see. I'll go and we'll have a meeting, and I got people to call and let them know what's going on about their vehicles that they ordered.
I'm hearing less and less about what's actually happening out there, which kind of freaks me out because we don't have cable, so I...
Well, there's just not a lot. There's just not a lot going on. Everything's kind of calm. They're supposed to vote today. You'd heard that the vote didn't pass.
That's what I just saw on
Yeah.
Facebook.
So, I mean...
And that's just... Wow,
don't worry.
that's bad.
They're going to do something. Trump's not a... He doesn't accept that kind of defeat.
I mean, they're going to have to, because you're going to have such
Plus,
a high percentage of Americans...
Yeah, look at the support.
...to pay their bills in the way they normally can.
I don't care if you're a Bernie supporter, or you're a Hillary supporter, or a Trump supporter. Who you're going to look for right now is the guy in charge. And if he's saying he wants to give you money, and then Nancy Pelosi and all these guys are standing like in front of that doesn't make sense. Especially for the small business people. You know, the small guy, he's the one that suffers the most. Remember, that guy pays all the taxes. We pay a little bit of taxes because the small business owner pays the majority of them. And if you tax that guy, or you don't give him money, and he can't pay his employees, he goes under. Now what?
I know.
One business gone.
I mean, the money comes from somewhere no matter what.
That's right.
So like I was saying this morning, should I or shouldn't I sign the petition for no rent or utilities? Obviously that would help my family, but the next door neighbor who's 90 years old, that's part of his income.
Right, and so the reason...
So he needs it as bad as we do.
Will the government pay him back? Or will they support? Will he get a bigger stipend because he has this other expense? And that's the question. That's the question.
What happens to the people who rent out properties?
Right?
You know, count on those payments every month.
Yeah, I mean...
Again,
my parents do the same thing.
Way to go with it.
My parents,
Either way.
they have 2 rental properties. That's part of their monthly income.
Yep.
You know, that's pretty important to their income. So are they going to get relieved of that? Or, see, those guys are looking at like bailing out banks again. They're not looking at bailing out the American people. And that's what Trump and all of those guys are doing, is they're trying to bail out the American people right now like they should have done back in the housing crisis. And that's not the first, like I'm not the first one to talk about it. I heard this on the news the other day. Like, if Obama would have done this in the housing crisis, things would have been way different. So the fact that the government can actually not implement socialism 100%, but give us a bailout, get us back on our feet, it would be the greatest feat in history.
Yeah, well, if we can't learn anything else through this, I hope that we learn to come together as a people.
I think we have.
You know, we're all equals. We're all just people trying to live our lives and take care of our families. And it's hard for everybody in one way or another. We need to come to something that will help everyone, where we all just rise as a nation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope that we can do that.
We can. It's going to happen. Look, do we have trans issues now? I don't think trans people and all these hate groups, I really don't think any of them are focusing on hating anybody. I think that they're done, at least for now, while things are tough. I think that we're going to see, you know, maybe people who are actually racist not be so racist. Maybe people that accept the racism is like, oh, I gotta find the racism and go after it. They're not looking for it. People are chilling out.
It's hard for me to believe there's even people that think like that.
There are people that think like that, but they're not the majority.
We're all equal.
We are. Those people are not the majority. They're not how... If you think one group is so bad, you might want to meet them. Maybe you find out that group ain't so bad.
Everybody just has different backgrounds in the
That's right.
information they've received.
Yeah.
And a different way of looking at it. At the root of it, I believe that we are all pretty much the same thought process within us, but you know, like Democrats, I'm a bleeding heart. I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
It's just, some of it isn't realistic. We can't just we can't make everything free for everybody because the money comes from somewhere.
Right. 20 years ago,
we have an economy.
20 years ago, we probably lined up more with the Democratic Party than with the Republican Party. And that's probably true.
I don't have a party because
you can't.
We all want the best for everyone. I mean, I'd open my door to anyone who needed my help.
Absolutely.
We still have to have rules in everything in life.
And I think it's best that the rules, when we make these rules, they're made correctly. They're
in the best interest of everybody.
That's right. Not just one group. Yes. Absolutely. And I think that should be a no-brainer. Thanks for checking out Opinions Vary. It's just me and Jen sitting around smoking and talking about what we think is important today. Let us know what you like in the comments below and subscribe.